All right, let's start this. Welcome to Empire World and Empire Starts and Ends. I'm your host, Jacob. And let's explain what Black Monday means. Black Monday is when coaches, whether they're head coaches, defensive coaches, whatever the coaches are, even GMs are not completely taken away from this, are going to be fired. It's usually the last Monday of the year when the season ends. Sometimes it's a little before, but not usually. The two coaches that got fired on this day were Doug Pederson and Gerard Mayo. Let's start with Gerard Mayo and the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots made a decision to move on from Gerard Mayo as head coach. This, according to Patriots fans, was very necessary. According to people in other circles, they thought it was a little rough. In my opinion, I watched the Patriots game. Gerard Mayo looked like he didn't know much of what he was doing, and it was a gigantic step from being a linebacker coach to a head coach. That was ridiculous. He didn't know enough of what he was trying to do. The staff he built was not good enough. The roster, the Kraft and their GM and executives and all they created was not good enough. They bring in a young quarterback in Jason Hayes, who's Chase Thomas. They put him in a really bad position. Like you could see a lot of negatives in this role, and it was not good enough. Gerard Mayo wasn't good enough. It's not saying Gerard Mayo's not a good coach. Gerard Mayo was just not a good enough coach for this team, which I think we have to set. Gerard Mayo, I don't know this, was not a good enough coach for this team to be successful. That's all it is. Not good. Gerard Mayo was not good enough at this point in time to be the head coach of this team. Over heel kind of thing. That's it. It's not that tough. Now, again, when Gerard Mayo took the job, he gifted it. It was in the Hebrew head coaching meeting. My guess is they wanted Josh McDaniels, but that didn't happen. And it sort of made Gerard Mayo make it work. The players don't believe in it, and that's what happened. Now, who could be a coach for this job? You got to look at Mike Label, former New England Patriots player, similar to Mayo, won 3 Super Bowls, was Patriots. You could also look at it former assistants who either could join Label or be in the head coach running. Bill O'Brien, Josh Daniels, both those guys, absolutely. I wouldn't be shocked with that. I think you need somebody to build something. It has to be different. I think if you can do that, you have a chance. Now, what things for the Patriots also is they lost the number 1 pick yesterday because they beat the Buffalo Bills this week. Bills did not play any of their starters. We said, no, we don't need to. We're not going. They didn't. We had reported earlier in the week that the offense starters would play absolutely at least 4 games. We didn't know how much. We said 2 drives, maybe a quarter. No, didn't play at all. Because the Patriots won, they dropped from the number 1 overall pick to the number 4, making the Titans the number 1 overall pick and the Browns the number 2. If I'm the team and I'm drafting any player, it has to be a quarterback. Will Levis ain't good enough. That's it again. Will Levis, quarterback of the Titans, is not good enough. It's that simple. Mason Rudolph is not good enough, and so it's anyone else who just had on the team. You need a coach. Maybe that's Brian Callahan. Maybe it's not. They haven't made a choice on him. I've been looking through everything. I've looked to make sure. But being 22, it looks like he's staying on. I haven't seen anything about Brian Callahan, so I'm thinking he's staying. Will Levis cannot be the coach. The duo of Brian Callahan and Will Levis cannot be running right now. Period. It's not good. I know. Now moving on to the other coaches. Kidding. He the situation not good enough to coach this team. They were sellers. Basically, at the time, they were going to get rid of Christian Kirk, and he ended up being injured. They were going to go and do some other options, but they weren't going to be able to do much. Peterson, as we said before, he been fired in London, prior to London, after London. I'm not like he could be fired after the Buffalo. He was that not good enough. Now, part of that is I want to say this about Chad Tom. It kind of connects to Bob Kraft. Yeah, Bob Kraft. And this is how he's doing it. Bob Kraft, when asked by Gerard Mayo, said, I didn't put Gerard in investigation, which is Chad Tom not saying the same thing. But he said, we want to create it to be interesting. And it will still not community. Obviously. Ben Johnson making a lot of sense. He's very talented. He's very smart. He's very creative. With that working, yeah, I will say this: they are in need of in need in some way. Their defense is decent. It's played well, but it's not consistent enough. The last thing I think is because they didn't fire their GM Ken Bolke, including the San Francisco, has been one of the worst GMs in the NFL. You can say, well, Jerry Jones. I think Jones the guy was. You'll take Jerry Jones any day of the week over both. He's just bad. Really does make it, even if we don't agree with him, if he makes it injury. Both sits on his hands. He doesn't do anything. He's a guy who, in the 5 years that he's been a GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they've had the number one overall pick twice or 3 times. That's still, that's not good enough. That means we gotta move. And they aren't. They've won 4 games. They're not good enough. You can't. Yeah, I got it. And then Jacksonville Jaguars fans are like, how is this thing still on the job? It makes no sense. I don't know. Maybe he has something on top. I have no idea. No Peterson is gone. Todd keeps bulky. Rod Mayo is gone. Let's see what happens. I will make note as we move to the Giants portion of this. They are keeping both Joe Shane and Brian Dable. Interesting move, I thought. I thought Dable would be the one gone. And Shane as well. I don't think they handled the Saquon situation well. And that was on television or not. So I think they handled that so poorly. And Maryland handled it so poorly. And it was not good. Moving to the Bengals. Bengals have fired defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, as well as members of the defensive staff. The defense was not good enough. It was really bad. You could tell they struggled against the pass. It was really bad. Against the run, they were not that much better. And this is not good. Moving on to the Bears, who have not wasted any time requesting interviews, have requested both line assistant coordinators, Johnson and Aaron Glenn. These are 2 guys who are just unreal. They're so talented. And Johnson's creative mind, and Aaron Glenn with all these injuries has found a way to make this defense really good. They did not lose on Armin, so I think that would be why they lost. But I thought after, and with all the injuries they've had, they've looked really good. Moving on to the Dolphins first. Dolphins owner confirms that McDaniel, GM Greer will return for 2025. Same as the Colts have said about. Moving on to some of the games that happened this weekend let's start with the Patriots beating the Buffalo Bills 23-16 in Fox. Walker, I guess, would be the best thing because you didn't need this win. You wanted the pick and you didn't get it. Don't know if Rod Mayo would have been there if he still had the number one pick, but to win by 7, I think that was the biggest. Like, well, if I was going to be here anyway, do it. Let's go. Still win the game. And they did. I want to quickly hear the Chicago Bears and Packers game. The score is 24-22. That's the field goal. Stop the 10-game losing streak as well as their 11 losses in a row against the Packers. Again, the Packers lost a couple players. Jordan Love has what they're called numb hands, which means he might have a nerve issue in his elbow and something. It could be really bad. He's going to try go against the Eagles. Let's see what happens. It would be without Christian Watson. As Watson is going his ACL and had other ligament damage, including 2025 in doubt, which would be really devastating to the Packers because he's the one guy who's a deep threat. He's the guy that gets the word up speed. He's the guy who could break the game wide open. It's his performance. It's not being really, really tough for the Packers, not just for this year, but for next year. Moving on to the Eagles at Giants. The Eagles beating the Giants 20-13. Tanner McKee got hurt. The Giants made nearly to the rookie that's good. This is a team that's what I think. It's just not good enough for the Giants. And that was, I think, the reason that I was shocked that Joe Shane and Brian Dable is staying. I think this game is, I don't know what it is, not good enough in getting rid of the best player you had in decades. That's the Commanders beat the Cowboys in the last couple of seconds, 23-19. But before we begin the microphone stuff, let's say what goodness. Late in the fourth quarter, Cowboys winning 19-15. We end up Commanders with Marcus Mariota. They pulled Jaden Daniels, keeping healthy as possible. Mariota comes in, plays very well. A 4th-and-1 play, they run a read option to get 30 yards on it. Those are touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin, win the game 23-19. When the Cowboys started this, they started Trey Lance. Thought Trey Lance played really well. For a guy who hasn't played in 2 years, I thought he played really well. But didn't really put the ball in harm's way as much as I thought he would, so that's good. So was pretty good. I thought McCarthy did a good enough job to make sure he made Trey Lance really comfortable. So we'll take that as well. Michael Parsons got his pass sack to get 10 sacks, making him become one of 4 players in NFL history who have 10 plus sacks in 4 seasons to start a career. On Humphrey, Reggie White, Dwight Sweeney, and now Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons also became the only second to Reggie White in 12 sack seasons. That's the list. Michael Parsons, Reggie White. That's it. For Reggie White, Michael Parsons. Yeah. I thought it was good song by the Cowboys. They looked good. They played hard. They just didn't win the game. And now they have the Super Bowl outcome. If we move on to McCarthy, we'll see what happens. Not going to. Not going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to drag. You don't want to keep McCarthy, or at least want to keep discussing things. We have ages to do so. Otherwise, fitting well. And I think the way coaching staff are, it would be a very high value prospect if he was to leave the free agent. Moving on to the Chiefs at Denver. Denver being the Chiefs 38-0. Chiefs rested all the starters at the person went. The Denver Broncos to prepare all the starters to start getting. I thought Denver did a good job. Denver makes the playoffs for the first time since 2015, having the second longest only to the Jets in not making the recent stretch that off the board. Now they end up having to play Buffalo in Buffalo, where it's cold. Let's see what happens in that game. Also, I want to say this too. With Mahomes not playing, Chelsea not playing and not playing next week, that would mark 24 days since the last time these two guys played. That seems to be worse. Moving on to the Jets beating the Miami Dolphins 32 to 20. Aaron Rodgers got his 500th touchdown pass, so congratulations to him, making him one of 5 players to have that mark, which, if I remember correctly, include obviously Tom Brady, Peyton, Drew club as well. He joins a very exclusive club. Will this be Aaron Rodgers' last congratulatory uniform? We'll have to wait and see. That's all based on who's been also Rodgers' last game in his NFL career. He said he will not take a very long time, possibly to do that either this week or next week, which I do appreciate because I don't want to do it. I really want to Doug Peterson to find him for like 5 days. I don't want it. Please don't have that. Oh, please don't. For the Dolphins, that loss ended their season. As the Broncos did win, kicking them out at the very same time. Tyler Huntley, I didn't think played well. He didn't do anything well. It got to the point that Tyreek Hill wouldn't go back in the game when Mike McDaniel was quote unquote unavailable. It was great saying, I'm not playing here anymore. And I think Taylor's a little fed up too that every time they have a chance to get put and Tua being hurt and they got no opportunity. I feel like that's a similar situation. The Seattle Seahawks beating the Los Angeles Rams 30-25. Jimmy Garoppolo played in this game. Actually, Geno Smith did. So I thought it was going to be bigger. The backups, no, they played the start, beating them 30-25. Geno actually ended up getting a $2 million bonus for that. That game meant if the Rams won, they get the number 3 seed and not the number 4 for that. Now they got it. Excuse me, the number. The number 3. They ended up whoever they were gonna play, make it work. And with them being the 4th seed, now they end up having to play the Utah at home and not home. The season Arizona Cardinals throttled the San Francisco 49ers 47-24. They didn't. They kept Yasso completely to the floor the entire game. San Francisco did not play well, not doing that things well. And you do have to ask yourself, what is the next step in this? What are we looking for? We're looking for what happens to various sports. We're looking for a linebacker. Take what is a big game. What are we looking for? It's all has to be seen. Arizona kept the throw down the entire game. I think they wanted to send a message, and they did send out all messages. Next up, well, at home against the Minnesota Vikings, and they throttled. Again, the injury to the Lions is the reason they needed to win this game. They need time off. Arnold now out, 2 other players out. Alexander only played and revitalized that defense. Pederson was there on the sideline. So he brought that. And then the Vikings they couldn't do anything. They looked lost. It was just not a good showing from the Vikings. Now moving into Saturday's game. Baltimore throttled the Cleveland Browns 35-10. Ended up the Browns did after this game firing their offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. It's not good enough. Not good enough. The Browns. Myles Garrett said earlier in the season that he didn't want to be part of a rebuild. He didn't want that. And he also said that there's a few players that don't want to do that either. don't think Nick Chubb wants to be because it's supposed to be a free agent. It's a free agent this year. So I don't think he wants to be there. But Denzel, cornerback, also cornerback. Now, I'll talk to Mike, talk to Miles, I'll talk to everybody that doesn't want to go from there. This was not the season we hoped for. This was the team we hoped to win the Super Bowl and then ended up only winning 3 games. Not good enough. Speaking of not good enough, what I do speak of, Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cincinnati ended up winning the game over the Steelers, but they really tried to give that game every chance they could to the Steelers. The Steelers are not good enough. They made the playoffs. They're not good enough. They don't move the ball well enough. They're not good offensively. Russell Wilson, I don't know what he was doing half the time. It was exhausting and play the Steelers. Just bad performance after bad performance. And the Bengals didn't do enough either. Too late. A little too late. And I think Joe Burrow did that his job, but not good enough at this point. I want to finish off the injury to Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers suffered a knee injury in the game against the Cleveland. First, we thought the tear in the ACL, tear in the UCL, done for the year. That would be a horrible according to the Raiders. It's a knee sweat, and he's considered weak. That's really good. You hope he'll be ready to go. If not, you might be able to handle Steelers without. You just hope you can. And finally, when the son was asked on the field, if he would you Aaron Rodgers, and he said no, I would. But that's fine. Is expected to interview with the Jets tomorrow, so we'll see about that. But I think this is all in Aaron Rodgers' time, and I think if the Jets really want to go back, you don't have a high enough draft choice to get a quarterback. There's not a great free agency class of quarterback. And that is it. And for some of the comments of were you surprised by the Gerard Mayo firing? And also, who should be the replacement of coach in the NFL world? And take it.